Blast off. Good morning, everybody. It's the Great Mattsby Tesla Tracker. We are here to go over the markets with you. Happy Thursday. Yeah, we
Happy
see
Thursday.
some requests coming in. We'll get to those soon.
Yeah. Things are looking really good. I'm excited. I got some massage chair time in. I got some good sleep last night. I feel like I made all the right moves yesterday, and they're paying off today. So let's dig in.
Very, very good. Yes. So SPY, I mean, it was higher post market yesterday than it is pre market today. So that really doesn't change the range of anything. We can see that the past 3 weeks, it has been in the 594, 595 zone. And even guess what? Pre market still 593. So it's not making any kind of higher high just yet, which makes people concerned, I think, that, oh, this is just going to be one last bull trap and then collapse. Well, as long as it keeps holding levels, that's what I care about the most. So technically, our support still is down here at the 585.38. So if it does go back down there, that's fine. There is still a gap there that we got to be mindful of. Be mindful of the gap, like you're on a subway or a metro, right? Be mindful of
Yeah.
the gap.
The tube, as
And
they call it in
the
Britain.
tube, yes, the tube.
Yeah, mind the gap.
Mind the gap. And the QQQ here, same situation, except it is actually going higher, right? It is going higher than the previous candle. So there is some relative strength happening with the QQQ in comparison to the SPY. So maybe we should just ignore the SPY and focus on the QQQ because it's kind of breaking out right now, even after giving up some of the post-market gains yesterday. It was like what, the 529, 530 zone up here. Now it's what, 526. It's still above the previous week's candles. So it is a little bit more bullish. But the closer it gets to the previous all-time highs up here, then the more cautious I need to be because it's not guaranteed to break out towards the 548 just yet. So we could start to get some sort of rejection in this zone up here the closer we get to these toppy candles here. So I'll be a little bit cautious up there, but also we got to mind a gap right here. There is a possibility of some kind of fear out there. I don't know what it would be, but whatever fear it could be, just to retest support. So we got to put that in the back of our mind always, since there is a huge, gigantic gap and still never even back test the 1.414. And the IWM, we can see that price is going right back up to the baseline, same as the previous week. So we are in a range 205 to 207, maybe 208. So if it can break above it tomorrow for a weekly candle close, then I think it could be starting to be good to go towards the 213, 214 zone. But right now we're just range bound in that area. And Bitcoin, I have this chart that I've been showing since I think Sunday or Monday. This is basically a breakout of the green level. Still haven't really back tested it yet. So is that possible? Of course. That's 105.6, 105,600, and a resistance is around 110, 111 up here. So we're just range bound for Bitcoin, trying to build a base at a higher level. So I'm not concerned with Bitcoin at the moment. I know a lot of people think it's about to nuke or something, but it's a weird thing to say when it's actually building a base on top of previous all-time highs. Right. Almost even the wicks too.
Yeah.
Like the wick up here is 109. And it's basically kind of building a base in that 109 zone right now. So this is a good development, in my opinion, for breaking resistance very, very soon.
Yeah, it's just doing a little oscillation over that important GAN horizontal line there. And a little oscillation on top of it's really bullish. If it was oscillating right around it, I'd be like, "Oh, which way is it gonna go?" But this looks really good on top of it. And then, if you indulge me with my Tesla chart, I will show you how Tesla's kind of doing the same sort of thing here. Thanks, Matt. So Tesla, it ran up to this 382, 361.98. At first, I was just waiting for it to it was stuck under 350, like it couldn't get over the halfway point between the most recent low and the all-time high. But now it's over it, and it's bouncing right and back and forth around this 382. So either it does 382 and then back to the 236 for support, and then it takes off, or it just keeps going from here. And it does feel like right now it's kind of building the base on top of the 382. And so usually the next fib I'd be watching is 1.8 up here at 453.25. Tesla, usually what it likes to do is skip over that and go straight for the 764. So that would take it to 509.71. So if it stays on top of 361.98 and starts to just climb up, that's probably where it's going to go. 509.71 next. I was just looking all through even maybe I guess through the end of this month, it could still just do a quick rip. I mean, like here, a gap fill down to 305.52, but it would be really fast, I would think, and then it'd take back off again. But hopefully, it doesn't even do that and just keeps going. And then here's my charts settings. I posted this for everybody to see. If you want to get these same fibs on your trading view, it's just on an 8-hour chart, and then you put these numbers in. So there's Tesla, and the short term could be heading for 509. Now, usually after 764, it then drops back to the 382 and then goes to the 1382. So it could go 509, then 362, and then it'll be 748 after that to the 1382. I don't think I need to talk about. Matt's got Bitcoin handled pretty well. We both thought maybe it might test 10 something something. It kind of went to this 106.830, and that's been holding. So yeah, building a base higher, and I think I kind of tell it to kind of move up to the next level higher. So that would take us 1382 and the 150% between 110 and 119,000. I think it really wants to go. I think Matt and I both are thinking maybe it wants to go to like 137-ish, 144. Wait, yeah, somewhere between here. Anyway, closing it on 140,000 next. XRP, just I'll let Mac talk about XRP if you want to. I feel like it bottomed yesterday. I feel like this is a, 2 sharp wicks up was a double top, and then this was like a nice penetrating wick. Could have gone 764, 382 is what I was expecting, but it had trouble holding the 382. But it just hit to the 236, and now we're back above it. I think that might have been the bottom of XRP. So I bought XXRP yesterday. I was very happy to buy like $100,000 worth of it down here at 31.50 for the XRP, and we're back over it here in pre-market right now. Rambling my mouth. I'm so excited. EUSE. I don't know if you guys
Yeah,
remember.
I can show my XRP real quick.
Yeah.
Actually, before you jump into EUSE. Yeah, I just wanted to show guys that this is the bull market support band. You can just type it in the indicators up here in TradingView. Bull market support band, and it's basically the 21-week EMA and the 20-week SMA, and it smashed right in between it, almost even back tested the 21-week EMA on the bottom 220, and it still maintained that 886 fib 225. So yeah, it really has a bottoming kind of a feel to it. Technically, it broke below it, and ever since April 21st, it's been flipping the 21-week EMA as a support. So this kind of makes me think that this is kind of the start of a bottoming phase for XRP. And when you put on the Ichimoku cloud, it is finally getting closer to the weekly cloud too. So we could be almost ready, right? Almost ready to be taking the next leg higher, but maybe not just yet. Still could be range bound for some time, but these are the steps in the right direction to continue the takeoff higher. I know it's been a little bit boring recently, but that's when things will really start to get exciting after people kind of give up on it.
Yeah, they kind of try to fade into the background, but really it's building up a tempest in a teacup. That's the wrong analogy. It is building up a tempest though. So I've been expecting for some time EUSC. I was hoping for a 764 382, but after it never reached the 764, so really all it did was get over the 618. I was expecting a pull back to the 236. I think originally what I had was this 764 382, and I wrote a little note saying, but possibly could go to the 23, and that's what it's done here in pre-market. What they did was they announced that after this, they fired the CFO somewhere around here this week. They announced a capital raise, so they're diluting shares, and that's why EOS plunged here in pre-market. It didn't quite get to the 23.6, but that's fine. I mean, it was a little over the 618, so over the 236 is okay too. It could still there's a chance for it to touch it at the open, but then again, maybe the chance is gone. So here's my new cost basis. I bought 10,000 shares here at 480 in pre-market. I swapped some what was I in? SS no. QS. I was in QS. I took a quick profit on QS. I bought QS yesterday, 50,000 shares at 407, and then I got out here this morning, I don't know, somewhere around 435, 437, and swapped it for EOS. And because this is only going to go up, uh, QS, or am I thinking of a different one? But this one was only going to go up like a few more percent, I think, to the 618. Yeah, like 8% more, 8% higher. So I said, oh, but EOS from this 449, well, it didn't quite make it there, but from where price is right now, my next target is the 123.6 fib. That's up here at 1052 or percent higher than prices right now. So there you go. EOS looking great. It was well worth the swap out of QS into that. Even though I like all the quantum stocks, even if the ones that are quantum in name only, like the battery companies that are actually battery companies, but they have a cute quantum in the name. All right, let's do some. Is there anything else you want to talk about, Matt, before we take the requests?
No, I think that's better. I see there's a pay that people are talking about. Payments
Yeah,
holdings. I can
let's
just
take a
jump
look
into
at that.
that. And actually, I think I did this one before, or maybe a couple of weeks ago, but it's nailing the previous high here, right up here from the June 21st or June 2021 high. It still is battling it as a resistance. So that's 39.23. It is above it pre-market, but tomorrow is the weekly candle close. Let's see if it can close the week above it, because that would be a bullish setup for continuation. But I think either way, this chart is starting to look a lot more bullish, and does want to break into all-time highs. And if it does eventually flip that 39.23 to support, then that brings the 1.272 fib available up top here at the 63.31. So good developments here overall, and it's above everything on the Ichimoku 2 and above all the SMAs and well above the bull market support band too. So things look good, but it still is resistance, right? Until it's proven otherwise.
Oh, I like this chart. You know, there's one other thing that I can point out. If you switch over to me here, and that is, let's try it. 764. Look, it looks like a giant. Well, just from here to here, it's like a cup and handle. But even from the very beginning, from the dinosaur, it's kind of like a giant head and shoulders with a teeny tiny shoulder, big head. But it's really a cup and handle, is what it is. This thing looks like it's definitely poised to go higher. What I ought to do is do one of your retracements here from here to this was its all-time high. Now we're at an all-time high. Okay, what's the previous one? I wish I had get close on that. But looks like, did I use the right tool? No, that's the wrong one. Where did it go? Sorry, hang on. Just from here to this is just very rough. And then flip it to the other side. TGM left. So look, if you just go by Matt's fibs, it's probably going to go to 4805 or 5264 next, which from where price is right now, that would be either 23 to 34% higher. And let's see how it matches up with my fibs. Somehow I did end up getting too many of these on here. Sorry. Let's see. Is it this one? Yeah, get rid of that one. All right, and then the matches up with my fibs. It looks like it did a. It looks like it's just going straight for a 618 or even a 764, which would match up with this 127. So yeah, look for $46.83 to 4805 next. So it would probably just do like, gosh, this is crazy. Let's say it goes here and then back to the 382 and the 132, and then I gotta have more room to the 1382, 100%, 2382. So yeah, maybe that's nuts. That would take it 3 would take it 70% higher, and wave 5 would take it 150% higher from where it is right now. I look for 4683, gosh darn it, left to 4805, and then maybe a pullback to 3468, which would bring it back to the 78.6 retracement down over on the left side. All right, there you go. Pay. I like it. Looks really good. All right. Why did my EUSE and TEM get whacked? Everything's on fire. So the answer to that is, I told you EUSE had a dilution announcement. TEM got a hit piece on it. I'll show you TEM here. Some company released, like a hedge fund, announced the big short position and their reasons why, and that's why it dropped down here. But as far as I'm looking for it, going to, let's see, what was supposed to do 382. Didn't quite do that. Didn't quite get to the six. It hasn't tested the 618 yet. I think it wants to go to the 618 next. Maybe the 764 now, and then back to the 32. So let's look for that. Look at this as an opportunity to dollar cost average or buy-in. You can see on the 8-hour chart, it went right to my moving average 75 on the 8-hour chart, and that was the support. So I think 764, so 8854, then to the 382. Come here. I'm upgrading this to the 1382 to 100 and the 2382. This kind of pullback early could actually set it up to go higher later. So there you go. Tempest AI. I like it for at minimum 46% higher from where it is right now, maybe 62% higher to 8854 next. And then look out for a pullback after that. You can ask me again after we get there, and we can look at the charts again. So there you go. Tempest AI and EUSE. Back to you, Matt.
Yeah, I have a chart for TM too, and I have a reason that's not news related for TM at all. It just got rejected at the 786 from the high back in November and the low down here. So yeah, I just got rejected at the 65.14. So it went back down to retest some levels. That was good enough reason for me because the 786 is a big, basically resistance zone, and now it's actually trying to just stay above the conversion line, stay above the formation of the cloud, the leading span A of the cloud. And tomorrow is the weekly candle close, so maybe it can even close above the 618, the 55.72. So this could just be a nice little breakout back test in the works here with some news attached to it. So I'm not too concerned about that, right? And I see a request for Palantir. I mean, there's really no change for Palantir for me on this chart. It's basically 125. It's in the same range it's been in for the past weeks. I think the only thing I'm watching really is the Bollinger Band here, the monthly Bollinger Band. And if it keeps on riding it as a support, then it's going to keep on pushing higher and higher. So 116.46 is that top of the band. And it has basically been riding this monthly band for a while as support. So that is just what I'm looking at for Palantir to maintain its momentum, and it's still above. And the month is coming to an end very, very soon. Let's see.
All right, I've got a knock your socks off Palantir chart.
Okay.
That's it's cool to look at because it puts the best of your retracement fibs and my fib extensions together again. So look at this big blue box. It's basically just I'm looking at this 100% move from the previous high of 125.41 to this low right here on April 7th of $65.40. And then since then, it went back to the top. It poked its head out. And then where did it go? Look to the left. It went back to the 70.2% retracement fib. And so it's 0 to 100 this way. And where it wants to go is to either match 127.2 or 141.4. And on my my fib extensions, when I take it from this significant low here, this is August of I don't know what year, 2024 or 2023, down here at $21.15 to the all-time high the April 7th low. It's trying to do a 764,382. So it's headed for 145.46, which you can see is smack in the middle of Matt's 141.4 and 127.2. So right there is where it's going to that zone, and then I expect it's going to pull back. I mean, I know Palantir doesn't like to do that, but look, since it had this big pullback here, it might have to just do a little oscillation. Maybe Matt's got a beautiful Gann chart where a 45-degree angle that goes right this or something. It's just going to respect market symmetry across that angle here. I mean, it would just look something like, like this. Anyway, so symmetry here, and then it keeps going up from there. So maybe a test back to 105 and then 210, 170, and then 315 sometime in, I don't know, 2026 or so. Palantir's just, oh man, stock gets me excited now. Like, because it's been sitting so long, right? It's just sitting right along the top of this 100% fib, but this is this blue box. All right. And I could do Unity. Where I can set up and let you do something, Matt. I don't know why I'm just so psyched today. It's like I have my Wheaties, except I don't eat Wheaties. Unity software, I talked about this before, from the bottom of $12.57 to this high of 30.87 and the higher low of 15.4. My fibs look like this. It's gone to the 50% level, which is a little unusual. Sometimes the 50% level sends it right back to the 236. This one looks like it's getting over it though, so maybe it will do a 618, 236. So let's just watch this level first. 2664. If it gets past that, then maybe 676 point, usually the highest things go. And if it does 764, then the 382 will be support. But right now, let's just cautiously watch for next, since it is over the 50% fib now. That's 7.5% higher. And this reminds me of another stock, SMR, which I bought a short, I bought some puts on it right when it touched the 764 here on Tuesday. And then I thought for sure it would drop, and my puts were for the $26 or $27 strike. I thought for sure we'd get there, or at least get close enough I could make my money and get out. And no, there's a big volume buy right here. Look at this volume right there. And it basically propped it up. Actually, on the 4-hour chart, you can see a little bit better. There is this one here, propped it over the 764, and this one here, and it's not letting it get under the 764. So, like I said, usually the 764 is the top of one of these. It doesn't go from the bottom of wave 2 to 100% very often. So I don't know. I think maybe there's propping up until the end of the week, and then they'll let it drop into next week. My puts are for tomorrow, so I'm probably just gonna lose out on that one. There you go. SMR, it might go to 42.17 next, which would be 15% higher. Actually, from now, it's like 17% higher. But then again, it might just drop to the 22.91. So there you go. There's another twofer. All right, Matt, I'm relinquishing the mic to you.
Yeah, I see Mona is talking about MTPLF. I don't really like to chart that simply because this is all you can see for the data for Metaplanet, and I like more data. So it is breaking above the 885 right now, and it's been kind of holding that 741. But I like to do the 3350 to chart this Metaplanet here on the TSC. This one actually looks a little bit better to me because it's basically climbing one fib level at a time since a long time ago, right? So it was like a breakout back test of the 382, back test the 236, breakout to the 50, back test the 382, and now we're breaking out of the 50. So if we just chart this with fibs alone, it looks like it does want to continue its journey higher as long as it does hold this 50% level. So if you guys just chart this one, the 3350, I think you can get a better sense of the direction Metaplanet might actually be going. And yeah, it looks more and more bullish, and it looks like it does really want to hold this 756 level to continue its journey higher. So the next resistance, I mean, you guys can do the conversion, I guess, 1937. whatever that is in TSE, compared to US dollars. But I think if it gets to resistance on this chart, then you know it's probably going to be resistance on the Metaplanet chart as well. So that's basically, you can just do the equivalent at that time. That's what I think for that. And I do have a run chart as well. And SunRun, after a big rejection, I did talk about this last week, I believe, that it did just nail that blue angle and go right back down. So it wasn't really ready to break any kind of resistance. And when you combine that with the other indicators of the Ichimoku and the SMAs too, you can just see there's a lot of resistance here with the 50-week moving average, the 100-week moving average, and now we're back below the conversion baseline. So basically, any momentum that was gained the prior weeks kind of just was lost. So we're back right where we started back in March. And I think if you're going to look for a support, it still is that red angle, the 620s right down there. And then we're at resistance right now with basically the gray angle here at 690. So if this can get broken, then perhaps we can start to go up to the 820s and above. But there's really no more momentum in this stock just yet until we can start to get back above some of these indicators up here, at least maybe in the 9s, the conversion baseline. I would like to see that reclaimed for any kind of regaining of momentum for SunRun.
SunRun. I love that name. It makes me think of when I lived in Orlando, and Disney World had this 5K they called the SunRun that they ran, like, I don't know, 4 times a year. All right. I've got a Metaplanet chart because my subscribers won't stop asking me about it. This is what I think. So I'm just going from this bottom right here, 558 to the all-time high of $16. And I think, it looks like it's kind of on course for a 382, 236. It already did both of those. So let's look for a 618. Maybe 1203 is where you want to get out. Or maybe if you're gung ho, you could try 70.2 at $12.89. But 12, actually, it's actually 1202, not 1203. I'm looking back on my left here. Oh, number lock is off. There we go. Yeah, so 1202 maybe. And then I don't know, maybe that's a 1, 2. I don't know. I haven't even charted it yet. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. I'll try to do it real quick. 382. I don't know. Even 1114. Maybe 1114 is going to be initial resistance. Yeah. So I don't know. You can try it. It's tricky. It's in paper. It's over the counter trade. So, and on TradingView, I tried to trade this thing and I found out too late that it was on 20-minute delay for the quotes. So you can't do real time trading. It's nuts. It's a real shot in the dark there. Let's see. I need to do a update on BlackBerry because my subscribers have been asking for this too. I was looking for a 382, 236 pullback. It almost got to the 3. It did pull back a little bit lower than the 236. Oh wait, these are two different ones. These are retracements and these extensions. Yeah, it could be 382 and it could be coming back down to the 236, or it's working on getting up to my 382 fib extension here next. So I know this isn't really great to figure. It's either going to 442 or it's going to 362 next. I'm really sure what yet. Which the market seems really bullish, so maybe it'll go 442 next, and then back to 382. And if it gets over 442 much, like more than the 50% level, then look for the 618 up here at 495, which is also kind of where the ABC retrace wants to go to. BlackBerry, I don't know. It's kind of stuck in the middle a little bit. But yeah, maybe just take a screenshot of this and figure either the blue or the brown numbers. And then the rockety stuff. Let me see. What is DXYZ doing now? I jumped out of it yesterday because it didn't go to my 382, and so now it's kind of stuck between the 382 and 2. Because if you watch the show, we were doing a Triumvirate show while they're doing the rocket launch, and the mission didn't go quite super successfully. They didn't get the pod bay doors open, and they didn't get to the lights, and there were no visuals. There's no catch of the booster because they trashed that on purpose to get some more data out of that. Rocket Lab looks like it wants to get to the 618 because it's over the 50% level. So look for 3226 next, and that would typically send it back down to retest the 236 at $21.10. I don't know why it's 21.8 here. 2110 next, and then after that, you'll want to go to the 123.6 at 5032. I must have bumped something on this chart. Anyway, that's Rocket Lab, and then ASTS Space. Oops, that's the wrong screen. ASTS Space Mobile. Oh, this is a good one because it's below the 236 mini boss. It's still been fighting with it, so it's got a lot of upside to go. Just to fail at the well, let's see. Yeah, just to fail the 382 would be 3216. That's 30% higher. But what I'd like to see. Oh, why did I think it would do that? I don't know. Maybe. Gosh, he kind of went over and fell over again. Maybe let's try the 618. Let's look for instead of this. Let's look for 4121 next, because that'll be it just gets a toe over the previous all-time high and then has to check back to it to support. So yeah, let's look for this 61823. That's 4121 back to 2655. Thanks. No. All right, there. That's my two space stocks for now. Back to you, Matt.
Yeah, I see a lot of requests coming in and running out of time, so I'm gonna do stuff that we haven't done in a while here.
Yeah.
Melee, MercadoLibre. Let's
Mhm.
see here. Yeah, I mean, I've drawn this path ever since basically a few weeks ago, and it is going up towards that 1.272. Haven't even changed this since the last time I looked at it a few months ago or a few weeks ago. So it's still on track to the 2809 after breaking above this fib down here at 2000. So we do have the opportunity to go higher, or it has the opportunity to go higher. And if you look at the monthly chart too, it is the monthly candle close is going to be in a couple of days, and it's still above all the indicators. It's getting a little bit extended from the cloud, but I think the closer it gets to 2800, the more cautious I would be, pretty much, because we could see kind of a significant pullback since then, or after that, I would say, because it's just been on a very, very big uptrend. So we'll take it one level at a time. 2809 resistance and support. Technically, on a week-to-week basis, it's still way down here at the 2170, like down at the conversion line. So it could go and retest that first before going higher. So just be mindful that it is a little bit extended.
Let's see. I'll leave you with Elf Beauty because it has been a white runner here, and you can see why on my chart. Elf Beauty, this whole giant. I just basically took from the beginning of time, or its lowest low ever to its highest high ever, to the April 7th higher low that we just hit. And so just to get to the 382, it's got to go. It was 43% last time we talked about it a couple of days ago, or maybe just yesterday. I don't know. It's got another 25% to go to hit 131.38 for the 382. Then it should get a test back to about $100, $99.97. And after that, it's going to want to go to the 1236, way up here at 315.09, which, let's see, if you get it from the 236, where it is right now, it's like 212% higher from exactly 99.97. And from where price is now, it's like 199% higher. So yeah, Elf Beauty is still a good buy if you want to get in on this action. I don't know how long it'll take to get here, but it's been going very fast to get to this 382. All right, Matt, it's 9:04.
Yeah, I think that's good enough. I see a question. Any reason I see a lot of bear porn on on the S&P 500? Well, I think it's a lot of people are they like to try to predict tops, temporary tops, and it's just in our nature to try to time things correctly. When in reality, people make more money just by riding the trend. I am not a counter trend trader, so I just follow the trend. And basically, right now, the trend is still your friend and going higher. But I think you see a lot of people shorting, and then when you see a lot of people shorting, they're going to root for the stock to go down. And when they root for the stock to go down, that's going to be a lot of negativity on there. So just follow the trend, in my opinion. And right now, it's still very much our friend.
Yay! I snuck in a quick chart for 4 here. I just drew it up.
Yeah.
4 wants to go to 106.80 next, which from where price is right now, that would be 16% higher, 106.80. Let's see if it can get there. If it has to back test after that, it's 91.86. If it goes higher, then it'll try to go to 130.94 next, which would be a lot better. That would challenge the previous all-time high, 44% higher from where price is now. But yeah, I like it here, the 236. It's still it was resistance right up to this moment, so maybe it'll finally break out over this time. Right now, it's just stuck under it. So there you go, 4 shift 4 payments. All right, thanks, guys. It was so fun. The
Yeah.
time always goes by so fast. We'll be back
And
again
we'll
tomorrow
see
for
you.
another.
Yeah. The last trading day of the month. So we'll
Yeah,
see
we
how
put
things go.
May behind us. It's been a great recovery month. I
Yeah,
lost like half of my portfolio, basically. The lost half of its value from January to April 7th, and now I've got it all back. Like 95%
fantastic.
back where it was. Yeah. And there's so much more to go upside to go from here. All right, we will see you tomorrow. Bye,
Yeah.
everybody.
See you guys. Have a good one.
Thanks.